Hello everyone, I'm going to read to you the second chapter in our book, The Aardvark Who Wasn't Sure, and it's called Monkey Business. Pim was very tired after his first outing. He slept all day and all night. When he woke up, his mother was just coming back from her night's termite hunt. Pim was furious. "You went without me," he shouted. "You left me behind." "Yes, dear," said his mother. "You were fast asleep, and I thought it would be best if I left you." "Oh, I wanted to come. You should have waited for me." Pim was very disappointed, which was why he was so cross. "Aren't you hungry?" said his mother, who understood, because babies often get very grumpy if they're hungry. "Come and have your feed. Then you can go up the tunnel and sit in the sun and watch the world go by for a little while, if you like." This seemed a very nice idea. Pim was hungry, very hungry. He settled down for a good feed and soon felt much better. If you can see, there he is. "I'm sorry I was so cross," he said, looking up at his mother. "But it's so dull in this old hole." "This dull hole is safe," Mrs. Aardvark said. "Remember that. You may go up to the entrance now, but stay close to it. There's nothing like a dull old hole to dive into a time of danger." Pim set up off the tunnel. When he came out at the top, he couldn't see it all at first. The sun was very bright, and he sat down on his tail and blinked hard. His ears pricked up to listen for danger. You know, when you've been in somewhere dark and it's suddenly bright, you can't see properly? Well, that's like what Pim was like when he came up out of the tunnel. He wasn't sure what danger would sound like, but the grunting sounds he heard didn't sound very dangerous. As his eyes became used to the sunlight, he saw that the grunts were coming from a band of animals which were moving around and pulling up grass heads and other plants. They were stuffing those into their mouths with their forefeet, which were much more bendier than Pim's. He tried to pull up a plant with one of his front paws, but he couldn't get hold of it at all. Oh well, if they ate plants, they probably wouldn't eat aardvarks. Pim settled down to doze in the sun. Suddenly, a voice said, "Hello," right by his ear. Pim sat up quickly and back towards his burrow. He saw that one of the animals he'd been watching had come up to him. He was quite small. "Hello, what are you?" Pim asked him. "I'm a baboon, a sort of monkey. My uncle says, what are you?" "An aardvark." An odd what?" The little baboon was staring at Pim as if he'd never ever seen anything quite like him before. "An aardvark," said Pim clearly. "A very new aardvark." "I'm a very new baboon," said the funny creature. "Very new. I don't know anything about anything yet." "Neither do I," said Pim, who liked his new friend. "Except that my mother eats termites. Where do you live?" "Where?" said the little baboon, puzzled. "Well, everywhere. We move about all the time looking for food. At least the grown-ups in the group do. I have milk from my mother. I like that." "So do I," said Pim. "But where do you sleep to keep safe? Haven't you got a hole?" "A hole?" said the baboon in surprise. "No, we go up into some rocks or trees to rest." "Different ones every day," said Pim. "That must be interesting. I live in the same old burrow all the time." He nodded towards his burrow. "Under the ground?" The baboon peered down it doubtfully. Haven't you ever been up in a tree? A tree? Pim asked. I'm not sure. Those are trees over there. The little baboon pointed to them. There's my uncle on top of that tall one. He's on lookout duty today. Which reminds me, my mother will be looking out for me too. Just at that moment, the baboon up the tree began to make a sharp barking noise, and all the other baboons began to rush about, barking too. A lion! Squeaked Pim's new friend. Oh dear, I want my mother. Oh, here she is. A big baboon rushed up to them. The baby scrambled onto her back and hung onto her fur. He rode her like a jockey rides a horse as she rushed back to join the troop. They all banded together in one big family. There were other babies on their mothers' backs, as well as Pim's friend, and they rushed off towards the trees, barking hard. What a fuss! All Pim had to do was go down to his tunnel. He did so. His mother opened one eye. What's the matter? She said. Lion, said Pim. The baboons warned me. Ah, you've learned about baboons. They are a help. When the baboons bark, you dive for home, or if you're too far away, you dig a hole quickly. Baboons climb trees. Why don't we climb trees? We can't climb. What are you doing? You're scratching me. Pim was trying to pull himself up onto his mother's back, and he kept sliding down onto her tail. Here's the picture. You're the wrong shape, he complained. I want to ride like baboons have. I'm not a baboon, said his mother. I am a tired aardvark. Now go to sleep if you want to come with me tonight. Pim did want to, so he curled himself up into a little ball to sleep. But there was something else he wanted to ask. Why don't we live in a big family with lots of others instead of just by ourselves? He knew the answer, though. Because he was an aardvark. Pim went to sleep.